We're embarking on a pretty long journey up here, 20 hours from Kentucky all the way up to Canada, and we're going to do it in 2 days. We are headed to New Brunswick to camp at Fundy National Park. We did have a little bit of troubles traveling up to Canada, but we hadn't have a clue what was in store for us at the border. So this trip has been quite a trip. I don't know what words to say. I was driving up and I had like a sore throat, and I was just eating chips, and I guess the chips or something, the powder was bothering my throat. So then I was like convulsing, I couldn't breathe, so I had to pull over. We carry supplements, and so I felt pretty horrible after that. I had a lot of allergy problems and stuff, and we then came up here to the border. We were about 13 miles away, and so I didn't feel real great, you know, and we came up here and they asked us the questions, and then he said to pull over here at 8 so they could have a poke, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh, what an experience. They then went through everything. I mean, they just went through like every piece of everything. We forgot to sign our passes. We didn't realize we had to sign them. That was quite an event that we just went through. That was, wow. But we're all done, and now we are actually going to go to the campground, and we are in Canada, so we're done.
In the end, I am the troublemaker because all of my pills were in little pouches, not labeled at all.
Yes. So we got poked. Now we're moving on. I don't know if when you tell them like this is your first time in Canada, that's like it's like you have to get poked.
Yeah, it's rite of passage.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage, right? Oh man, that was terrible. So we just carry all our supplements like this, a lot of them, and see how it's all well marked out. They had no problem with that. So this is a no-no. This is what they were looking for. They thought this was like drugs. And they asked my wife. My wife's like, oh, it's just melatonin. So making sure all your supplements and prescriptions are well marked, or they will stop you and go through your wife's underwear to find if there's drugs in there. And what's even funnier is my wife was blaming me because of my little spasm on my throat that I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, I thought he would have looked suspicious.
I looked suspicious.
Digging through all my gloves.
That's her fault.
Took out all of my underwear out. Every single one.
Yes. Then she was dreaming that she smelled like a Fed last night.
Yeah, I was dreaming Sean didn't want anything to do with me because I smelled like the Fed drug dealer.
Also, I found out what that was when my throat felt like it swelled shut. I was mentioning right before the border crossing when I was eating those chips, it irritated my throat. We were having a discussion last night, and I realized that it was thrush. I have a really bad fungal infection. So I took a bunch of stuff, and I actually feel a bit better. So I'm just gonna take some supplements to heal from fungus. But that was really bad. I had to pull the car over, and my wife, and you know, her emergency skills as a nurse, you know, she knew what to do. She just gave me a big old slap on my back, you know. She thought I was choking. I was trying to tell her the universal sign for choking, because I was an EMT back in the day for about, 13 years, and I was like, no, choking's when you hold your hand up at your throat, you know. I was like that. But it helped anyways, because the stimulation of her slapping me helped me, like, I don't know, breathe again, I guess. It like sort of signaled something in there, so she was a great help to me, so I appreciate that. But I'm glad now we're here, and now we can just enjoy Canada. So we're having some fun already. We've only been in Canada for about a day, and It's already been interesting. We stopped at the caves and got the chowder there. We were just trying to get to the campground, the Fundy National Park. And we're following Google, which took us to a dead end, and then we were going to take the parkway, but it's a providential park, and so you have to pay just to drive through there, and we didn't want to pay the large amount of money to see nothing. So then we were trying to go the long way around when Google said that there was a shorter way, which now we're just going down some gravel road that we're hoping it takes us to the actual campground.
This is 100% a mom cut. This is where mom always ends up driving us to the crazy off-road shortcut. Maybe somebody like me programmed Google.
Yes, my wife has always been good at finding the most adventurous roads for us to go down. I've noticed this, a couple years ago, whatever Google has updated their system with trying to find the most gas efficient road, that it does that now. It takes you on really, really crazy places. I think it's just gonna be one of those trips, I think, where you're just gonna have to go with it. Road is really, really rough. Parts of it have giant rocks and really bouncing us around, and the road is a lot longer than I expected. It's really taking us a while to get down.
It was so great to make it up to Haven. We finally made it to the campground. We're camping at the Chinekno campground. And we're looking forward to checking out what makes this park so special.